Hi, my name is Maria Mahani, and this week's muscle conditioning tip, we're going to be using the ball like a gigantic basketball. So what are we going to do with it? Well, we're going to do a bounce. All right, so what's that look like? Holding onto the ball, basically throwing the ball down to the floor. It's a bit like a slam ball, except it bounces back up again. So it's actually, there's a little bit more pelvic floor safe than a slam ball, because you still create a little bit of intra-abdominal pressure, but not as much as you would if you're throwing something down much heavier. Here. So the idea is that you throw the ball down and you catch it, but you throw it down with force. And so when you grab the ball as it bounces back up again, you've got to make sure that you apply enough force to hold the ball still to throw it back down again. Now, depending on the surface that you're on, you might like to choose a mat, like I've done here, to sort of dull the noise a little bit. And if you're an instructor, really encourage people to throw the ball down. They've got to create some force to do it. So it'll actually create a little bit of intra-abdominal pressure. So another alternative to throwing the ball down is what we call a dribble. So feet out a little bit wider apart, and now you're dribbling the ball with both hands on top. So this is pretty easy. I always encourage that people don't look at the ball. It's pretty big, it's hard, you won't miss it. I can see it in my peripheral vision, so you're not going to miss it. But what you can do with dribbling is you can start playing around with which hand is on the ball. So if I start to alternate hands, I can get some rotation through the torso. And if I want to, I can actually start moving the ball a little bit more to make it a little bit more challenging. So it's going from side to side, add a little bit of a lunge on it. Or what I can do is increase the number of times each hand's on the ball. So 1, 2, 1, 2. And here we can start moving perhaps a little bit further across, creating that lunging pattern. Or we can go back to here and just focus on how much I can rotate on the spot and keeping the legs really still. What's interesting about doing all of these exercises is that your heart rate will go up, your body will get warm. It's just a different way to train. We often think about a warm-up requiring us to run around or use a lot of space, where with using the ball, you can quite easily do something on the spot. It can be fun, it's got a bit of coordination involved, a little bit of proprioception involved, and it just gets you thinking differently. You know, there's lots of different ways to exercise, and it's great, especially if you're a group fitness instructor, to have a really wide repertoire. If you're going to be using the ball in the class, why not do a warm-up with it? And that's this week's muscle conditioning tip.